sellout in Purdue's history, and it looked like your play was upgraded.
I mean, it's undescribable, honestly. It's so cool to see all the support that us little team can bring, and I just can't thank the fans enough. Like, it has been one of my dreams come true, honestly.
I mean, just talking about the game real quick, you lost the trophy last year after a long run. I mean, was there how much of there was an impetus to really focus and hone in on tonight?
I mean, against IU, there's always something, and we knew that they're going to come out with fight no matter the atmosphere, no matter how many fans we had, and they did a great job, and I think it was just super cool to see our fans and our team come together and really give our best performance.
What does it say right now about Purdue volleyball right now, where you can, on a night like that, not even a ranked team necessarily, SIU, but still, I mean, are we going to see more of this? Are we going to get more games in Mackey Arena in the years to come?
I sure hope so. I don't know if that's a done deal yet, but I just know this team has had some obstacles this year, and we've overcome, and we're really finding our stride now, and it's really cool that we got to be able to show that in front of 15,000 fans.
Did you get a chance to sort of step back a little bit as your play was going on to kind of absorb what was happening, and anything in particular stand out?
I mean, one of the things Dave said after the second set was, let's stay on them, but take a moment, take it in, because this is something that like little girls dream about, and I dream about. So I just had to take a moment and look around and really thank everybody.
Eva, how did it feel to play on wood for the first time in a little while, and how do you feel comparing that to the TerFlex floors?
Well, I'm very thankful for our TerFlex floors after that. That's for sure. I actually have like a little cushion thing on my hip because we had been practicing in Mackey, and I had literally bruised my hips and knees to the max. So I'm very thankful for our TerFlex after that.
Gotcha. Did you identify anything that maybe went wrong tonight? Anything the team could have worked on? Seemed like so much went right.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things was blocking. We started to block later in the match, but in the beginning we weren't pressing low as our coach had told us. So to really hone in on that in the next few games is really one of the things we want to work on.
Eva, Jacob with Sports Report. You already kind of mentioned with his questions, but what is the best thing about a rivalry game when you get the win?
Oh, I mean, I do love holding up that spike. That is for sure. But honestly, I just love playing in the game, just being able to grow up in Indiana and then watching this. I mean, my mom went to Purdue, and then my dad went to IU medical school, so we were a split household, and be able to play in it and really just take it all in is a really cool experience.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Couple more questions for me, but how do you describe just the play of your back row, your setters? I mean, Taylor being as good as she was, and to watch the offense really just dominate.
Taylor has taken such big steps in her play. I mean, I don't know about you, but she is making so many great plays, and then to be able to execute an offense like that. I mean, we don't have the most simple offense if you can't see. So I just kudos to her. She's working so hard, and I can't wait to see who she becomes.
And again, it just doesn't seem like there's enough room. What does a day like this mean for this program moving forward, and what does it mean for sports and the history of women's sports in Indiana?
I think it means more than anyone can say. We're just a little stepping stone in the scheme of women's sports, and the fact that we're at 50 years of women's sports is a really cool thing, and to be a part of that and to have 15,000 fans is just an absolutely amazing experience.
Coach Dave, it's good to see you over there. Let me ask the first question for you. What do you remember about your first sellout when this volleyball team that you took over really started to build, and then to see it grow to what it was, where every seat was filled in Mackey Arena tonight?
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks to Carol Dewey, this program has always had pretty good support. I mean, she built a tremendous program back in the 70s, and it did have some moments where it wasn't drawing, large numbers of fans, but it just took a team that came in and started to win a little bit, and the fans poured out. A lot of people that are in here understand that. They poured out, and they've been great student fans, community fans, people from across the Boilermaker State. They've all showed up, but the explosion that is volleyball right now is triggering, not these kind of crowds, but record crowds across the country. And we felt like this would be an opportunity to showcase our team. I mean, there's a lot of people that I get emails and texts and calls all the time saying, we can't get tickets. Why don't you play in a bigger venue? And so we did. And there was a concern early on that maybe we wouldn't get the kind of crowd that would pay the bill, for turning the lights on and having all the ushers and everything you had here. But I think that the Boilermaker Nation showed up, and they were fantastic, and it was a dream come true, I think, for our program to make the decision to host that kind of an event, and then have people selling tickets on StubHub for $200, $300, $400 to get in here and see it.
Raven, how do you describe playing in an arena like that, the largest in Purdue women's volleyball history, and then to get the result, the resounding result that you did against your rivals?
Yeah, I think before the game, I was talking to Allie, and I was just saying how, I'm trying to act normal because it's we're home, but it was just so many people, so it was just kind of out of our element. But, sorry, we were just really excited, and I feel like the energy was very focused, but it was we were all in the moment, and we were very present, which is something that we've been trying to work on. But it was just a surreal feeling, just having everyone on our side and having so many people there to support us, because usually when there's so many people out there, it's a different team. We're away. So just to have that moment with this team was really special.
How do you keep that focus when there's so much around you, and you still have a volleyball game to play and win, and then to lock in the way that you did, even despite everything that was happening around you? How'd you guys manage that and to get the performance that you did?
Yeah, every pregame talk, we talk about focusing what's going on in between the lines. I think that, we talked about it, and we finally put it to work today, and I think always having constant communication allows us to be focused and locked in on what's going on the court, and not really worried about outside elements.
Coach Jacob with Sports Report.
Yeah, good to see you.
And you mentioned in the spring, of course, what a big game like this would mean to you. You've been in volleyball your entire life throughout Indiana, from high school to now college. You're almost 2 decades, a little over now. What did this mean to you when you were finally walking to Mackey Arena on a night like this where it's fully sold out? What did that mean, just being an Indiana boy?
Yeah, well, during the time before the match, when I had hours to stress out about what might happen, that fortunately didn't. You always worry about the worst thing that might happen when you're the coach. But I was able to walk campus a little bit, and even at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, there were middle school kids and high school age kids that were here for this match, that were so excited to be here. And that's what you get when you can open the doors up to this size venue that you don't get. It's almost like right now it's an elitist group that gets to go into Holloway Gym. It's people that have season tickets, and we don't have the opportunity to let all those other people come in. So for me to walk around and see that was very satisfying for me, and I hope the same for our people here at Purdue, at a time when administration needs money to support what's going on in college sports. You would think you'd like to see as much of this as possible.
And then Raven, what does it mean to beat your rival in a home crowd of almost 15,000 people at the same place where your family and your brother get to play? What's that like for yourself?
It's just really exciting because this is something that I've talked about and just talked to Miles about and just kind of dreamed about, and to be able to put it to work, I think is just really cool. And I think just growing up being a Purdue fan and having a hate for IU, I think just being able to smack them like that was really cool in front of all these fans. So yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I can hear you.
Maybe there we go.
Okay.
How do you build off of this momentum? This is for both of you, Coach and Raven. How do you build off of a sweep like that?
I think we're long overdue for a sweep. I think a lot of games that we've gone to 4, I think that we had a lack of focus, and I think that allowed it to get to 4 sets. But I think this whole entire game, we were locked in. We were focused on what was going on, what they were doing, and what we had to do. So I think just that energy and focus that we had allowed us to get the sweep.
I'll add to that. Number one, I don't want people to lose thought of that. Indiana's got a really good volleyball team, and this was a tough environment, I think, for them to have to come in and play. At least it showed that it was kind of difficult for them. I haven't seen them play like that all season. So, yeah, some of that may have been some of the things we did, but mostly, they're coming into this situation. There was not a lot of red in the building today. It was a great Purdue crowd, but we're fully aware of what it's going to be like when we go down to Bloomington in a few weeks, okay? And so, I think Steve Aird's doing a phenomenal job. He's doing a great job of building that program. He's got great people, kids that play hard and fight hard, and so I think that's important. But for us, we have to build off every match we play, and it's every match, in my opinion, is a season of itself. This case we had 2 days, maybe Thursday, 2 days to get ready to play them. It seemed like we had a week, right? I mean, we spent a lot of time. Yeah. These guys were watching film a lot more than they want to, all right? But we take it pretty seriously, and had we not done that, those results wouldn't have been the same. And we've got some coaches that are doing a great job working for us right now, putting together thoughts and ideas and plans that are making a big difference. But this one's over, and you want to build on it. We know the things we have to improve on. We talk about them all the time. And today, some of those things came to fruition, but it's a fresh start when we come back in on Monday. We got Ohio State on Wednesday, and Wisconsin back in here on Saturday. So it's kind of a new season every time you turn around.
Coach, what are your plans for that golden hammer you got before the game?
I have no idea what to do with that. My wife will probably put it up on a wall somewhere, but I was not expecting that. I was not expecting any of that from that standpoint, but it was nice that people care about Purdue volleyball, and I think they do here.
Absolutely. Raven, how do you feel after your first game in kind of a while on a real wood floor? And do you prefer wood or TerFlex?
We were actually really upset we didn't get the TerFlex, but it didn't really change how we played. We played normal, but we have it next Saturday versus Wisconsin. So I prefer the TerFlex just because I'm not a DS, so I don't like to dive. But
And you don't a whole lot.
No, I don't.
No. But the logistics prevented us from putting the TerFlex down this time with everything that was going on here today. We couldn't get it done. Couldn't get the turnover. So we will next Saturday.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah.
Raven, Coach, just being in a loud environment like this, much bigger crowd, a lot more sound. What's your communication like? How does that affect how you guys communicate with your team and during the match?
Yeah. It may have been more face to face, I would say. It wasn't, I would say maybe I had to go up to Taylor a little bit more and directly say to her what's going on, whereas in Holloway, I can maybe just yell it out quickly. But I don't know. I feel like because it was a home crowd, they were kind of quiet in the moments that we need them to be so we can communicate. But I felt like it was fairly easy to communicate. I just felt at ease the whole entire game.
Yeah, Holloway's pretty loud too.
Yeah.
It's a little, it's concrete building over there that's not that large, and you get 2,500 people in there. It gets pretty loud. This was louder, okay, but it gets loud over there too. So it wasn't a significant difference, but we talked about that beforehand, how to go about doing things, communicate a lot more, okay, and do it better, because at times it's going to get really loud.
Raven, what does this day mean for the history of Indiana sports, the history of, seeing the growth of women's volleyball and seeing where it's taken off to where it almost feels like even with tonight, there wasn't enough room still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think just seeing things that Nebraska did with the football stadium and just different schools setting records, I feel like it's just really cool to be a part of that and just do it in our own Purdue way. It's just really cool to see that different stats about how some people watch women's volleyball over like NBA games. And I think just being able to be a part of that and writing this history is just really cool.
You have something else? No? Yeah, I thought maybe you had another question. Okay, great. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Boiler up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Appreciate you guys all being here.